Hi there, in this video you're going to learn about mean absolute deviation. Your objectives for today are to find the mean absolute deviation of a set of data and to compare the mean absolute deviations for two sets of data. So let's start with what mean absolute deviation is, okay? So it's the average distance between each data value and the mean. So in other words, you find the mean first, and then you take the distance between each number in the set, and then from there you find the average. Okay, so let's see it actually in an example. The table shows points scored by a basketball player in his last 7 games. Find the mean absolute deviation. Describe what the mean absolute deviation represents. So here are the points scored right here. Okay, first thing we want to do is we want to find the mean. Fair, simple, straightforward, okay? You just add up all the numbers and divide them by how many are in the set, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 7 numbers in the set. So let's add up all the numbers at the top in the numerator and divide it by the number of points scored in the set. Okay. So from there you get 18. Step 2, you want to find the absolute value of the differences between each value in the set. So each of these values and the mean. So your mean is 18. In other words, how far away on a number line is 17 from 18? 1 space. How far away is 22 from 18 on a number line? Okay, and that's the way that you need to look at it as. Okay, think of it. That's why the absolute value bars are up here. You just need to think like how many spaces away on a number line is this number from your mean. Okay, so let's look. The absolute value of 17 minus 18 is 1. 30 minus 18 is 12. 15 minus 18 is 3. Again, if you're not sure what the absolute value is, just think how many spaces away is 15 from 18. Okay, and there's 3. So it's not negative 3, it's positive 3. We're doing the absolute values. So you're subtracting each number in the set minus your mean. Okay, so just keep on doing that. So each number in the set minus your mean, minus 18. And then step 3, you're going to find the average of these values. So you have 1, 3, 4, 1, 1, 10, and 12. Now you are finding the average of these numbers, okay? So you're going to add them all up. So 1, 4, 1, 12, right? 3, 1, 10, 3, 1, 10. And you're going to divide them by 7 because that's how many numbers you have. And you get 4.57. So the mean absolute deviation is about 4.57. This means that the average distance between the mean points per game and the actual points per game is 4.57. Okay, so in other words, the average away from the mean for each of these is 4.57. Compare variation. You can compare the mean absolute deviations for two sets of data. A data set with a greater mean absolute deviation has data values that are more spread out from the mean than the data set with the smaller mean absolute deviation. In other words, if the mean absolute deviation is smaller, right, then the numbers in the data set are closer together. If the mean absolute deviation is larger, that means that the data is more spread out. Let's look at an example. So the dot plots show the heights of the girls and boys in the Glee Club. The girls' heights in inches and the boys' height in inches. So the girls are from like 59 to 67. The boys are from 60 to 74. Find the mean of the girls' heights. So you're going to take each dot over here. Remember, each dot is something different. So in other words, there are 3 64s, okay? There are 3 girls that are 64 inches tall. So let's find the mean of all the girls' heights. So 59 plus 61 plus 62 plus 63 plus 64, 64, 64, and there's 167. All right, and you're going to divide them by 8 because there are 8 dots, right? There are 8 girls that we're looking at. So your mean is 63. So your mean is 63 inches. Now you're going to find the absolute deviation of the girls' heights. So from here, you're going to take 59 minus 63, figure out whatever that is, and take the absolute value. So 59 minus 63 is 4. In other words, how far away is 59 from the mean? How far away is this girl from the average? Okay, so how far away is 61 from the mean? 2. 62 minus 63, 1. And you're just going to keep doing that for each of the values. Okay, so your mean absolute deviation, then you're going to just take each of the values and you're going to add them together and you're going to divide them by the number of girls that there are. So there are a total number of 8 girls. So once you find the average, you get 1.75. In other words, the mean absolute deviation is then 1.75 inches for the girls. The mean of the boys' heights. So the means, you know how to do this. Just add 60 plus 61 plus 62 plus 62 plus 64 plus 65, 72, and 74. So you're adding all those up and you're dividing them by 8 because there are 8 dots. Okay, and you get your mean to be 65. The mean absolute deviation. Okay, how far away is 60 from your mean? 65. 5. How far away is 61 from your mean? 65. 4. How far away is 62 from your mean? 65. 3. Okay, and you just do that for each of the problems. Or for each of the boys, I should say, right? And from there, you take all of these numbers that you have and you figure out the mean of those numbers. So you're going to add up 5, 1, 4, 0, right? 3, 7, 3, 9. You're going to add them up all across and you're going to divide them by the number that there are in the set. So there are 8. So you get your mean to be 4. Now, when you're comparing, okay, you're just talking about the difference in their means, okay? Their variation. So if you notice, for the girls, the mean absolute deviation is 1.75. For the boys, it's 4. In other words, on average, the girls are about 1.75 away from the average. An average of the boys are about 4 inches away from the average height. Okay, so the mean absolute deviation for the girls' height is much less than that of the boys' height. The data for the girls are closer together than the data for the boys. All right, so concluding thoughts. First, you want to find the mean, and then you want to see how far each number is from the mean. And then from there, you want to find the mean of the new set of numbers. All right, that's how you find your mean absolute deviation. All right, I hope you learned about mean absolute deviation. Thank you for watching.